Hello, everybody. This is Listening Lotus coming back to you with another reading. Thank you guys so much for all your likes, shares, comments, and subscriptions. Thank you so much for your support. I hope everybody is doing well, taking good care of themselves, drinking your water, going outside, minding your business. Very important. um, we're just gonna jump right in and see what's what. Again, thank you guys so much. As I am building up this channel, I'm just extremely grateful for everything, really. um Life is a journey, okay, and it's definitely what you make of it. So let's just see what's going on. And yeah. Okay, first card out we have is wellness. It says deciding to maintain good health requires mindfulness. It is important to be aware of what you're consuming both internally and externally. That is the first card out. The next card was guarded. Unresolved emotional wounds and past disappointments can accumulate, leading to neglect and blockages. So, definitely being more mindful of your thoughts, the things that you choose to consume, whether if that's the food and stuff that you are eating, as well as the things that you are giving yourself time and space and energy to feed into. The things that you may be watching, are these things beneficial for, am I learning something from this that is going to help me evolve? Am I eating the right things that are going to help my body evolve, et cetera, et cetera? You only know where you're at on your journey. I have no freaking clue, never know who I'm talking to, but definitely going within and allowing yourself to really feel whatever last of your emotional wounds that you may be going through, and understanding that you have to nip that in the bud so that the wellness that you seek, right? Um, making sure that everything works in your favor, long story short. All right, let's see what else come out. Let's see what else comes out. All right, and then we have intuition. Intuition says it's important to be aware of your surroundings beyond what's visible to the eye. Trust your instincts and senses to guide you. So, whatever you're sensing, person, place, or thing, could be regarding even yourself and how you're the things that you're entertaining, asking yourself internally, like, are these things for my beneficial, for my highest good? Are these things going to help me get a good ROI, a return on the investment? Um, are these things or places or people that I have around me, are they even helping with you being guarded right now? Right? You have to really dive into your emotions and get to the bottom of, um, I'm going to say this because comparison, and I think if I'm quoting it correctly, I think they say that comparison is the thief of all joy. And a lot of times doing comparisons about things from previously versus where you are currently and looking at where you want to go futuristically can make you it can possibly put you in a stagnation. It can put you in a stagnant mind frame. It could put you in a stagnancy regarding, um, even your different things regarding your health too, because you may not, where the mind goes the body follows. And that's the reason why I think when it comes with the wellness card coming out first, this is all a domino effect. So literally, like, being mindful of the things that regarding your mental, and understanding how those things make you feel, and then doing the necessary changes. Only you know at the end of the day what's best for you. I mean, this is your life. You have to live it, right? And that's the reason why your intuition is coming out and it's saying, like, hey, you have to most importantly trust yourself before you can trust anybody else out here on the planet. If you don't trust your own judgment on the decisions that you're making when it comes to your own life and yourself and your body and how you feel about things, that's a slippery slope to be on. Just gonna keep it a buck with you. Let's see what else comes out. Because how are you going to have the best judgment regarding your wellness? How are you going to have the best judgment when it comes to really realizing where any emotional wounds could possibly be coming from? You have to trust yourself and what it is that you're thinking about. And it don't always make sense. So I get how it's like, it cultivates over time. It cultivates over time. Okay. Let me see. Yeah, somebody's definitely in their head. Yep. Definitely in your head. It's more of a mental war. Having a mental battle right now. And the reason why I say that is because the next card that came out is to reminisce. Reminisce says reflecting in old memories can invoke both positive and negative emotions. Learning from these experiences and using them as a guide for your future decision making is essential. So the emotional wounds that you're looking at regarding, and this could probably have more to do with, I'm just going to say relationships in general because I don't know who I'm talking to, but any relationships, family, friends, lovers, right? You are kind of going and replaying in a loop over your head over and over, about even if you made the right decisions, or was there something more that you could have did, as well as just replaying and reenacting certain scenarios that have played out amongst you and others. And it's putting you in, like I said, in this stagnant loop in a sense, because you're not categorizing. It's one thing to feel the emotions as they come, but then you have to know or place them somewhere, um in like your memory bank, where it makes better sense for you and your process, like your mental process, because you have instincts next. Instinct says the ability to behave or respond automatically in certain situations without conscious thought is known as innate knowledge. So regardless of this mental loop that your brain is going through right now, ultimately you followed your intuition, and maybe you're fighting yourself right now about what your intuition initially told you to do. Maybe you felt like you almost wanted to revamp or renege. Maybe there's certain relationships you feel like, oh, or person, place, or things or whatever that you didn't feel like you needed to completely cut off, but you did, and you did that simply off of listening to your intuition, or you just was on more of a reserve and you kind of like gave them their space. Ooh, there we go. But your instincts are telling you that you acted innately off of your intuition and your instincts. You listen to you. And even though you're reminiscing about what is going on, it's going to come a time and place, like right now, like right now, where you have to put those things and discard them in your memory bank with more of an acceptance, more accepting yourself about why you were probably guarded, or why you are even guarded now regarding those said emotions, regarding things that may have happened in your past, right? But everything has a space. So you are going through this phase of like really processing, thought processing, and to an extent, if you stay in that time frame or in that mind frame for too long, it could continue to keep you at a standstill. Eventually you got to bust a move, as certain generations will say. You have to bust a move. Okay. Acknowledging what happened, and then it's simply releasing and allowing yourself to understand that what was is what was, and what is happening currently now is also just as valid as what happened previously, right? Neither one of them overstep or over yeah, neither one of them overstep each other. And with you coming to that better understanding, you'll be able to have a better mind frame when it comes to your wellness. You could be looking back. It could be a prime example like this. This don't even have to have no relationships or anybody involved. It could be something internally, just an example. It could be something internally regarding your weight, regarding your health, because wellness is always about health, right? Whether if that's mental or physical. But even if we see on like the movies and TVs and stuff, when we're feeling down, we tend to feed ourselves with more sugar and more sweets and stuff. Although we know instinctively and we know our intuition, like this is not good for me, right? But I'm doing it right now to almost temporarily soothe myself from the emotional wounds from what just happened in the past. Even though I know that this is not in the best regards for my ultimate where I want to go as far as my health. And also with my mental. And a lot of times or whatever, it's acknowledging and processing just that simple example of what I said. Like I know I should probably, if anything, I should eat some fruit, which is more of a healthier sugar alternative, right? Even when I'm going through these different emotions, as opposed to having that apple pie and stuff. But when you're listening to your intuition or as you're reminiscing from the past and everything that you're doing regarding this scenario with these sweets and stuff, right? The biggest of it is really getting down to why you're being guarded. And for that example, it would simply be um, more of a craving of intimacy. Intimacy doesn't always have to be, getting in the bed with somebody. Intimacy could be simply like you misindulging or even having conversations with people. You know, I try to tell people all the time to be super mindful of like how much division has been caused amongst technology. It can be a good thing, but too much of something is always going to be considered more on the negative because you have to balance everything out. Everything is about balance at the end of the day. Okay. So, once again, whew, for the sake of that example, the emotional wound or the blockage that could be potentially accumulating is you not getting to the bottom of, hey, I'm eating these sweets or I'm eating these sugars and stuff like that because I really crave or I would like or I desire companionship, right? That's literally what's going on. And with that healthy level of companionship would be better for my mental and my overall wellness. Whether if that's something that's like, I'm uncomfortable, and this is just to extend further with the scenario. I don't know who I'm talking to, so please don't take this personal. But, I don't feel comfortable per se going to the gym by myself. And so it would be nice to have an accountability partner in that regards, right? But because I don't have that and I don't have that necessary extra push that would help motivate me a little bit sometimes, which again, this is just an example. You got to be able to motivate yourself a lot of times out of a lot of stuff. Um, in not having that as an outlook or a resource, you result into doing the complete opposite because now your brain is going through this whole mental phase of, well, I'm just not going to do it at all if I don't have anybody to do it with. Um, I'm not going to eat healthy if I don't have something motivating me besides just sounding like, just making it sound good, like, oh yeah, I eat healthy. Like, even if the ultimate purpose is so that you can live as long as you desire. Right now, currently, you're allowing your present emotions regarding things that have happened in the past and old things that have happened to you. They're resurfacing right now, and you're not channeling them properly or putting them in the right categories or the right spaces subconsciously so that you can get further ahead. So, really, just like allowing yourself to express and listen to your internal clock And the only reason why I'm really emphasizing this is because it's like you got instincts and intuition, but with your instincts, it's like instinctively, like you need to be, for the sake of the example, right? You need to be getting off your ass and doing more than what you're doing. Even this, regardless of what it is, person, place, or thing, scenario, situation, relationship, right? You even know you need to stop BSing. But for some reason, you are allowing yourself to go in this mental loop about looking at old memories and old scenarios instead of really listening to your intuition and your instincts and be like, hey, it's time to create some new scenarios. It's time to create some new memories, possibly with new folks or just, new memories with the same people that you have around you. Um, So it's really you getting out of your own way. Right now, it's like whoever I'm speaking to, like you are allowing your mental to over and consume you regarding your past. You're allowing your past to pretty much it's driving the car right now. And your intuition and instincts is like, come on now, come up out of that. Come up out of that. You can do it. You can do it. Come up out of that. Just really address whatever those feelings are initially and writing down, if that helps, to process what's getting to the root cause of your emotions so that you can be in a better headspace about even these said old scenarios and stuff, right? Because even if you're being around people and they're not bringing certain stuff up, and I'm gonna just put this out there, right? If you're not comfortable with stuff and talking about stuff previously from your past or whatever, you're going to be triggered. And even with triggering is a certain level of growth where you have to start asking yourself certain questions as to why you're still triggered, especially if there has been some time that has went by and you are still replaying or reliving said scenario or said certain situation as if it just happened yesterday. Only y'all know y'all timeline. Some stuff we be holding on to or whatever. It be years, okay? It be years. And it's so interesting. I know I read a study. If I do happen to find the article, I will definitely add it to, I will add the link to the description of this video. But I'm paraphrasing. The article was saying something about um, mentally a healthy brain, in a sense, right? Um, in most scenarios, our brain is supposed to process that fully. I want to say it said something astronomical, like 60 seconds or 60 minutes or something like that. Like basically, I don't know the time frame for sure, but just hear me out what I'm trying to say. We be holding on to stuff for sometimes for years that our brain has already went through the scenario and the emotions, the outcome, and has processed it fully. Um, Within 60 minutes of whatever that situation was. But it's the constant loop, like what's going on right now here in these cars, where it's like, you're reminiscing about certain scenarios between you and a said person, or um and like I said, it could be both positive and negative, but the biggest of it is learning from all of those experiences as a whole and then putting them in your memory bank. Like you've made a decision, like, okay, I understand this person. When it was good, it was good. When it went left. I categorize them and I put them over here. I acknowledge the good times that we have, but I also acknowledge when this just wasn't in alignment anymore, and then we just went our separate ways. And this is just an example, right? So with that, and you were managed to process that within 60 seconds. Years and stuff go by and people be replaying certain scenarios and stuff that may have happened to them, and it's like you've already made a decision, but it's more of your instincts and your intuition letting you have to feel more comfortable with the decision that you ultimately made and standing on that and moving according to, right? If you the only one that knows internally what you did and didn't do in any situation and scenarios or any environments. And everybody's perspective is different too. So, there could be 12 different stories to the same situation and stuff going on. Anyway, all right, we're going down a rabbit hole that I didn't come here for that. Let's see what else, just to clarify. But that's the biggest of it, y'all. Like, don't in the fourth quarter be in your own head, being in your own way. Um, because a lot of times it really is you versus you when it regards to your own life. And in order for you to get the wellness that you seek, you definitely have to go through the emotional range to categorizing the things that you are reminiscing about, and really being okay with, you trusted your intuition and you made the first decision, the right decision the first time. I think that's the biggest of it. A lot of times we go back and forth, even if intuitively we listened to and trusted ourselves, and we did whatever the first instinct or the first inkling of what we felt we needed to do, what was best for us in whatever environment, scenario, situation, person, place, thing. Right? We did what was best for us, but then we might reminisce and look back and start asking ourselves all these extra questions, like, oh, maybe it wasn't that bad, or um even considering to leave um leaving a certain level of openness between you and your past that could potentially affect your future. So even leaving certain things and certain chapters not completely closed can also affect you. And also understanding where that in itself, where that emotional tie of you feeling like you have to leave that level of openness to be there, to almost intercept or interject at any time to where you're trying to go potentially in the future. And the killer part about when you do stuff like that, you never know who I'm speaking to. Like, your instincts at the end of the day, a lot of us, we make our initial decisions about a lot of stuff far more in advance. But we always tend to look for, depending on what type of learner you are, some of us look out for um tangible things, or certain proofs that are, you had to see it in order to believe it. And that's not always the case, because with your intuition and your instincts, regardless of what you got to see or didn't see, listening to listening to that gut feeling and really listening to your intuition and listening to yourself is going to be key at the end of the day, because it definitely can save you and help prevent you from being in any more of an emotional turmoil sometimes about a certain person, place, or thing, or scenario, fill in the blank, right? Simply just making a decision, standing on that, and moving forward. Again, easier said than done, because clearly in these cards or whatever, especially with this reminisce, and it's not to say that everything was bad, but even when things are good between you and a person, if you feel like you have quote unquote outgrown them, or you just simply see that, hey, you guys are on two different paths where you feel like you're not in alignment, I mean, hey, it was nice knowing you. I enjoyed the experience while thus far, as we were when we were aligned. Then maybe even going a little bit further with the guarded card and addressing why you guys were aligned at that present time and space to even begin with. Because that other person may just well be guarded and stuff too. You guys could be alignment on some trauma bond type shit. And you didn't even think that fucking far until you actually start going through the proper channels of, like, really trying to figure out what is the root cause behind said emotions, and are they beneficial for me when it regards to the wellness of where I desire to go in the future. So let's see what else. I know that was a little bit of a mouthful, but yeah. Oh, of course, it want to fall on the floor. Okay, hold on, y'all. 1 second. Bloop. All right. So you have the Mother Earth card with 4. It says forge a new alliance with nature. And even with this wellness card, because I'm gonna show y'all this card again. With this wellness card, like she's outdoors, okay? She is outside with the butterflies and the hibiscus and the bird. I can't see what kind of bird that is, but you get the gist of it. Mother Nature and just sitting in nature, which is the reason why I've been telling y'all to go outside for a minute now. A few readings I know for a fact. You can get so much clarity from just sitting outside in nature. You can get so much from just sitting out in nature. You never know what's gonna come to you. Maybe it'll simply be an intuitive nudge of something that you might feel that you need to be doing that comes across from you just looking at the sky. You literally never know. But letting Mother Earth work in your favor and you guys simply respecting one another and becoming hand to hand. And then the next card you have is Spirit of Water with the 20. It says return to the source of the feminine for purification. So not only going outside, but definitely getting near some water. Definitely getting near some water. Water is a really good way for purification, and it could be something as simple as taking a bath or a shower, drinking more water. That's why I always advocate for y'all to stay as hydrated as possible, as well as minding y'all business. um, but yes, these two cards definitely go hand in hand. So even if it's just taking your local trail and walking until you see like the river and stuff, and just really standing there to get messages come through to you, right? So many different ways that you can incorporate more water into your life. But with in doing so or in doing this, you're getting more in line with nature, and it's going to help you be more centered and get more grounded to help you even categorize these certain thoughts that you're having when it's coming to just your mind and your mental overall. I'll be trying to save y'all from the glare. Okay. So this was really good. I like it. Let's see what else. But it pretty much puts it in a nutshell, like get out of your own head to get out of your own way. And some of the positive steps that you can do is to incorporate more water, being outside with Mother Earth in the ways that's reasonable for you. I know sometimes some people be having like allergies and stuff like that. So, Yep, boom, in a nutshell. So this card came out, says, I'm in an offline state of mind. Unplug. I'm gonna just put that in the middle because that pretty much sums it up. I think somebody's head, whoever I'm speaking to, because I don't ever know. You may simply be too involved in technology or just too engulfed in the things that you have going on, and it's best for you to unplug right now and really get out into the nature. Really get out into the nature, get around some water. Allow your brain, there we go with that glare. Allow your brain to simply turn off and allow whatever messages that are going to come through, allow them to come through as organically as possible. I don't know nobody's budget or anything like that, but as a small scenario or an example, really, a lot of these Airbnbs that people are offering don't always have to be traditional. Okay, they got everything on there from a yurt to a boathouse. I would recommend, if you have the funds too, that's a good start. Okay, even if it's just for 24 hours. And when you go with no technology. Some of us remember a time before all these cellular devices and TV and all that. Um, or even if you, when you go on a nature walk, if that's what you choose to do, don't leave your phone in the car. I know that sound, you probably like, child, are you serious right now? Like all this crazy stuff that be going on? Or maybe just put it on do not disturb. Because I don't want nothing to happen to nobody out here. Please, okay? So have it on you, but just have it on do not disturb, or have it charged up but turned off, and then only turn it on when you need it. You know, you fill in the blanks. Y'all will figure it out. But most importantly, definitely to just like have some time, some real mental time to really allow yourself to go within without any distractions. Your only distraction at this point should be a bird chirping. I don't know why I got so tickled behind that. Excuse me, y'all. But yes, um, go ahead and unplug. That's it in a nutshell. Okay, that's it in a nutshell. Unplug. You are allowing too much of your mental space to be consumed with um looking at the past and stuff that's going on. And I would highly recommend, like, as you're when you're in this space and you blocking out time to do this or whatnot, um, and this is just a recommendation, don't have to listen to me, but I would highly suggest, on top of staying hydrated, okay? Try to fast. Try to fast. So not only are you not consuming, um, yes, fast, and when it comes to mindfulness and this wellness that you ultimately seek, because this is the first card that came out, so this is the most prominent card. Um, stay as present as possible. Stay as present as possible. I'm gonna say it one more time. Stay present as possible. Allow yourself to be so present, depending on where you're at. Like, say you went to go look at the river, or yeah, right, you went to go look at the river. You're so present that you're able to see yourself, see your face in the water. You're so present that you're able to go and skip rocks all across that river. You're so present to the point you are allowed, you when you put the when you skip the rocks, you can see the ripples in the water, and you're like really just taking your time to almost damn near count them damn things. Count the ripples in the water. um and with this, I feel like it will give you not only just a internal reset that is going to help you externally as well, but it'll also help with you nourishing your inner child. And the only reason why I say that is because even with this wellness card, like, she looks relatively young. Like, okay, let me see. Can y'all see that? Boom. She looks relatively young. Yes, like a teenager. So even your inner child is just like, hey, look, remember when we used to just pick sticks? Remember when we used to make just mud pies and we just didn't have a care in the world? Bills? What is that? That's my little joke. But yes, definitely, whoever this is, definitely get yourself back centered. Get yourself back present. Go ahead and do the things that you know you need to do. Alternatively, to get back with being one with yourself, and continue to trust that your instincts and your intuition are always going to guide you, regardless of how crazy it may sometimes seem. Because I do feel like a lot of times when it comes to, especially this day and age, and that's just me keeping the buck with y'all, a lot of times we end up creating these mental blockages or being so torn because what our mental or what our intuition and instincts might be telling us to do may seem very far fetched, or not impossible, not ridiculous. That ain't the words I was trying to look for, but it could appear sometimes like somebody crazy in a sense. But that's the whole part with you trusting yourself and trusting that things are going to work out, especially if you have the wherewithal that betting on you. And it gets better with time. It gets better with time. The more you start trusting yourself and things keep working out each time that a certain scenario and certain things pop up, and you're like, dang, you know, start replaying those what ifs, like, is this gonna work out or not? Betting on yourself and allowing the chips to fall and being uh prepared mentally, right? For even in the case or in the event that it doesn't. A lot of times we be so scared to for a lot of things. We be scared and fearful. And that also in itself or whatever puts you in a phase of stagnancy that is not going to be conducive for where you want to go. You have to be able to be fearless and take leaps, okay? Move in faith. If you really are a person who is like, I trust the faith that I believe in, whether if that's yourself, um spirit guides, ancestors, God, whoever you choose to speak to, at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, at some point there's going to come a time where you have to really, you got to really trust it. You're going to get tested, right? So right now you're being tested to put, go ahead and unplug, okay? Go ahead and set you up a nice cabin trip. If you can, okay? But this is all I have for you guys. I wish you guys well. Wellness is key. Definitely, like I said, drink your water, definitely go outdoors, and do it and be present and allow yourself to get whatever messages that are meant for you in order to know what your next steps that you should be taking moving forward to get more in alignment to, your desires and what you truly seek while you're here on this timeline of your journey. But in the meantime, in between, God, in between time, ooh, third time's a charm. In the meantime, in between time, y'all take care of yourselves.